This is JRTech and Software.
Hello guys, and welcome back to another video. In today's video, I'm gonna be going over a little project I had going on about a year and a half ago. Now, some of you guys who have been watching this channel for a while have probably seen this icon on my desktop, JRTech and Software Operating System.ISO. About a year and a half ago, I actually created my own operating system from scratch. Yeah, I poured multiple hours into it, and I actually never got it done. There was a bug somewhere or I kept on getting an error. I didn't know how to fix it. I couldn't find where it was. Didn't know why it was happening and what the fix was. So the only way I knew to solve it was to start from right back from the beginning, and after putting so many hours into it, I was doing that. So my end goal was to hopefully share it to my YouTube channel, because of course I named it after my YouTube channel. And so yeah, so what I would like to do now is show you the code. Unfortunately, it was very tragic. A few months ago, I accidentally deleted the folder, and that was before I got my new hard drive here, because the old hard drive broke. So yeah, there went all the code. I do have screenshots of all the code here that I should be putting in post-production now. So one that's on the screen right now here is a bunch of assembly code. People who have been watching this channel for quite a long time probably know this as this was Ubuntu 16.04 with the GNOME desktop that I kind of styled to look like the 18.04 desktop there. But anyways, so this, I believe, is assembly code that kind of handled CPU interrupts. I kind of used backend for CPU interrupts there. Yeah, it's a .s file, so that's assembly code. Alright, so this one here, this is the very first version of the kernel, and as you can see there, it's only 11 lines long. So yeah, I had to create my own printf function. For any of you that have experience with coding and C, you'll know what printf is. Well, that's a part of the built-in libraries which don't exist on a brand new operating system here. So I had to create my own printf statement. You can see that in the function above that. The function that actually runs is this extern C void kernel main there. So this next one is a screenshot of a much more complex kernel. This, I believe, understands because by now I've gotten the keyboard driver going here. So this is for it to understand when you get to the end of the screen to jump to the new line, and when I press enter to jump to the next line, and to make sure to kind of figure out the whole scrolling once you get to the very bottom of the screen there. And that's just a small little snippet of code. So yeah, I kind of got fancy with the effects and had like a nice shadow effect. You guys can't really see that in the video, but if I were to put this on a web page or something, you would be able to see it anyways. So yeah, this is a picture of the first 33 lines of code for the keyboard driver. And yeah, the top here, I believe, is handling interrupts. You can see there the int cap, it's line 5, the int caps control alt and super all equal to 0. That's how I know whether like caps lock is turned on or whether they're pressing Control Alt or the Super key, otherwise known as the Windows key. So yeah, this is a screenshot of kind of the back end for that bit of code that we just saw there. I believe this is an older version of that code, but this kind of helps manage the interrupts and like creates a class there of different variables that we need to know to handle interrupts and that kind of thing. By the way, the keyboard will only work for a PS2 keyboard. I plan on hopefully having the ISO and a link down in the description. So first, I believe your computer needs to be in legacy mode to run it, and you need to have a PS2 keyboard, otherwise it's not going to work. And there's a bug that I know of that is in this ISO that I fixed at some point, but I guess I never recompiled after that bug was fixed. This is the last ISO that I know to have been compiled. Let's actually see the modified date here. Hopefully that got copied over here. Modified Friday the 12th of June. That is incorrect. That's around when it was like being transferred from hard drives and stuff, so yeah, that's probably not right. So I guess I don't know when the actual compile date of this ISO is. And this is a make file. This is the file that contains a list of commands to run here. You'll see I use grub for my bootloader here, so line 21 through pretty much everything you can see on the screen there. That's creating like a grub config file, and then eventually it's creating an ISO file, and then I had it so that it automatically owns the virtual machine. It creates the opens VirtualBox for that later. This is my the structure of the directory here, because I kind of reorganized after a while. By the way, I did not do this by myself. This is you might think I'm a genius for this, and I just followed a tutorial for most of this. I did make it on my own, so it's not 100% the guide I watched. I'll try to remember to add a link to the playlist of the Brian operating system from scratch and C++ video down in the description, but because that's the tutorial that I followed. It does take a long time to follow it, but if you are ever interested in creating your own operating system, yeah, that's a good one. And by the way, another thing in programming an operating system is I learned so much about how a computer boots. You actually need to have like a certain call it like an air quotes a magic number that you need to give the bootloader for it to know that you are actually a valid operating system kernel and all that stuff here. But anyways, so yeah, I saw the screenshots I have. I wish that I could show you guys the full code that is just a scratch of the surface of all the code that was put into this. And it doesn't include things like the interrupts, the CPU interrupts. Those are very important and crucial to having the keyboard, for example, work and the clock to work. But yeah, that's just a little look at the code here. Let's go ahead and actually look at the operating system. The operating system itself is very, hello? Oh, new. Is very, very, unimpressive. It hardly does anything. And it's a 32-bit operating system too, because Apparently when the computer starts, it starts in 32-bit mode, even if you have a 64-bit processor. And there's something in the kernel that tells it to start going into the 64-bit mode, but the tutorial I was following didn't know how to do that, so this is a 32-bit operating system. JRTSOS is kind of my acronym for that. It needs a very low amount of RAM, and that's way more than enough. It does not need a hard disk. It can't even interact with hard drive, so it doesn't really care about IDE or SATA. It's able to boot on my old laptop before, so. Alright, and we're ready to start it. Starting here. And there you go. Oh yeah, I forgot about the mouse. I forgot that I got the mouse to work. Oh man, yeah, it's a very sensitive mouse. But yeah, this is my operating system here. Yeah, the mouse is useless. Welcome to the JRTSOS software operating system, the place where you can fool around with the mouse and keyboard and do nothing else. I got an underscore here as the cursor, so hello. Oh yeah, I forgot. The shift and select the caps lock key. Hello world. Welcome to my operating and backspace works operating system. By the way, the left arrow doesn't work very well, and there's some sort of issue with here. But yeah, there's a bug there. If you hit O, it comes out as a capital. If you hit O while it's in Shift or Caps Lock mode, it's a capital U. I wonder what. And a capital U is the same thing, but yeah. Yeah, that's literally all. Once you go to a new line here, you cannot get to the the lifeline. I guess you can. I guess you can use the left arrow to get there. But yeah, that was an issue because well, as you can see there, going back a line, I never really got that to work. But yeah, that's my operating system. Like I said, not much. It's really not much. But yeah, that's my operating system. And there's a lot of code to make this do even everything that it did here. All the different keys that you have to hit to make make the screen display the letters there, all those had to be programmed individually. There you could have some debugging there. Keyboard message, any key that is not configured, that I haven't configured yet, that you press, outputs this little string here that tells, that was for me to know what the key I just hit was, what the in hexadecimal, so I can check for that later and kind of introduce that. I just hit the multiplication star button on the numpad there, and on the numpad works. Super keys do nothing. Oh yeah, I need to show you what happens when you go off the screen. It just deletes everything, starts all over, so it's not really truly strong. Anyway, that's about it for the JRTSOS software operating system. I wrote this from scratch, and if you have a computer old enough to run it, you can load this ISO onto a USB drive, plug it into a computer, and run it. I have run it on my old laptop before, so yeah. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, go ahead and hit that like button, please. And if you like my other videos, then please subscribe. And I'll see you in the next video.